Okay, Joanna, what have you noticed since starting hyperbaric oxygen therapy?
Well, when I first started, I had some old COVID symptoms. I had a lot of fatigue. Like by like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, I would be pretty tired and thinking, how soon can I take a nap? So I was just really, really tired still from COVID, and I didn't even have it that bad, but the symptoms just lingered. And I also had a lot of brain fog. I just couldn't really think through complex problems. Like I'd feel really overwhelmed with the kids, ask me questions, and I just couldn't work through things at work. I couldn't like plan my groceries. And then I started doing hyperbaric, and it was pretty soon after I started noticing a difference. After the first one, I had to go grocery shopping that afternoon. So I went and got groceries, and then when I got home, before I put my groceries away, I cleaned my fridge. I mean, like, who does that? So I like cleaned out my fridge first, and then I put my groceries away. And then the next day, I had food that I had bought that I had to put away in the food storage, and I went down and I reorganized the whole food storage room. And I hadn't done that in months because it was just too overwhelming to try to think through that. And then that weekend, there was some things we needed to have done in our basement that I just been putting off for a long time. But I went down and I sanded and I painted and I finished out some things in the basement that I hadn't done. And so I realized like I just had more clarity. I had more like energy, and it hasn't really ended. Like I just keep having more and more energy after each session, and it doesn't really drop off. So like 8, 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night, we'll still have a lot of energy. Like we'll go to the jumping place, the trampoline parks with our kids, at 8, 9 o'clock at night, and we'll jump with them, or we'll be at the park playing soccer. And I just couldn't do that before. I just didn't have the energy. I was just too burnt out all the time. The other thing I noticed since I've been doing it for about 8 months now is that I've had migraines my whole life, even since I was a little girl, and they'd be really severe. I'd have, 1, 2, sometimes 3 a month, and they'd make me really nauseous, and I would just be down and out for hours, or I just have to go to bed, and that's it for the day. And I noticed that I've only had one migraine in the last 8 months where I actually had to like lay down. It was pretty painful. But other than that, I just had a few mild headaches, and that was all. And so a lot less migraines. And then it's now in August, and I've noticed that my allergies didn't show up this year. They just never came. And I had turbinate reduction surgery, and I had deviated septum surgery years ago, back in 2009, because my allergies are so bad. I would get a sinus infection every fall and every spring. And after the surgery, my nose, it just ran, but I wouldn't get the sinus infections. But this last spring, I just didn't have any allergies. They just didn't even show up. And we actually got a cat a few months ago. And so it's just pretty exciting that those different things happen. I continue to have a lot of energy, a lot more clarity. I can focus a lot better. I don't feel as like run down and burnt out as I used to. And I had plantar fasciitis in both feet. And the one healed up really well, and the other was just kind of like hanging on. It just kind of hurt a little bit. And hyperbaric was one of the things that really helped get me to the point where it doesn't hurt as much anymore. And I was able to run a 5K a few weeks ago, and go to the trampoline park with my kids, which I haven't been able to do for a few months. So we were able to do that, and I wasn't having pain from that. So those are the biggest things I've noticed, that I've seen happen since I started.